exciting when you see someone you know.
I was very excited that you were coming to Jonesborough. I couldn't believe it. And I refuse to believe that's Bo.
It's absolutely.
Because I remember
when you were pregnant. Yeah, so we worked together when I was pregnant with him. That's how long ago it was.
I'm not that old.
Right. Me either. We were teenager prodigy attorneys.
Yes, we were
baby attorneys. That's what I told y'all.
Yes. And we did work together. We were on opposite sides, but that's something about Memphis. We could be adversaries in the courtroom, but be buddies on the outside.
That's right.
And she and I worked well together. We also worked with the cold case task force.
Yep.
With the city when we had the untested rape kits in Memphis. We worked together on that as well. So I have a question. More so, I want something in your mind to sort of formulate and think about. I am a prosecutor here in Washington County, and I am primarily responsible for the prosecution of crimes against kids. So I do a lot of work with Department of Children's Services. We have some wonderful people that work with our kids here in Washington County, but we have a shortage of foster homes. So what we see in East Tennessee, not just Washington County, is a lot of our kids are being placed in DCS offices. Not just in Washington County, but all over the state. Our kids that are going into these offices are not getting education, they're not getting therapy, they're not even getting proper nutrition.
Right.
And in my opinion, this is coming out of Nashville. And DCS needs help. And I would like to know, if you know today, but I would like to know what can be done with DCS to help our kids. Because our kids are not being served. And these kids are so vulnerable that we're dealing with every day.
It's so interesting that you bring that up, Abby, because I wish I could call y'all all by name, but because I was just having this conversation with some of my colleagues in the county. I get a report every day of what's happening with the Memphis Safety Task Force, and they keep saying like 10 juveniles missing recovered. And I'm looking at their ages, and what I know, because again, I was a juvenile public defender, is that these are runaways, and they're likely runaways from group homes or from the office. And if Pam Bondi scoops them up, do you know where they're going? Back to the office. And so, great job for getting them off the street. My assumption is that they are going around and they see someone who looks young out in the middle of the day when they should be at school, and they say, hey, who are you? And they figure out who they are, and they scoop them up, and then they put them on the floor of a DCS office. That does not stop crime. That does not help the kids, okay? So I've actually been working and thinking on this prior to today. So good question. We do have to have different leadership at DCS. It is my opinion. I do think the caseworkers that go into this work, it is a calling and they care. I'm not trying to lay this on their laps, but they need to be better paid and they need to be better resourced. We've got to have wraparound services for these kids, and we are going to have to figure out a way to incentivize good foster families, right? Not everybody can foster. I've definitely seen that in my life too. But good foster families, if there are, in Memphis, we've given a lot of money to a group called Pure Academy. It's sort of a boys group home. They have their own high school, they have their own football team, and they teach them how to tie a tie and other kinds of skills. And every time they come in front of me, you know what I say to them? When are you open up the girls' version of this, right? Because we can't leave them behind. But we could fund more programming like that too. That can absolutely be in your budget. Every single thing that you look at in the budget, they're giving corporations and businesses big tax breaks, right? And if you have that money instead, what you can do is put a mental health counselor in every school, right? So even those kids who are in DCS custody can receive some mental health supports right there in their school. So there's a lot of different ways and places. The number one thing you have to do is have the money, and the way that you get the money is stop giving tax breaks to big business and start supporting families, children in need.